2 men are here, 2 strangers, Menelaus, but nobly born Aetians. They appear. What do you say? Shall we unhitch their team or send them on for someone free to receive them?
You were no idiot before, Eptanus, but here you are talking like a child of 10. Bring these men in to be our guests. Unhitch their teams. Welcome. We hope to hear your names, forebears, and families.
My dear friend, can you believe your eyes how luminous it is of bronze, gold, amber, silver, and ivory? What a wonder!
How painfully I wandered before I brought it home. 7 years at sea, Cyprus, Philica, Egypt, and still farther along or among the sunburnt races. But while I made my fortune on these travels, a stranger killed my brother in cold blood. Tricked blind, caught in a web of his deadly queen. You must have heard your fathers tell my story, whoever your fathers are. You must know of my life, the anguish I once had, the great house full of my treasure left in desolation. How greatly I should have lived to have my friends back safe home. My friends who died at Troy's wide seaboard. But as things are, nothing but grief has left me. For these companions, while I sit at home, sometimes not tears come, I revel in them. And there is one I miss more than the other. Dead I mourn for. Sleep for food alike grow hateful when I think of him. No soldier took on so much, went through so much as Odysseus. How his old father and his quiet wife Penelope must miss him still, and Telemachus, whom left as a newborn child.
Menelaus, my lord, have we yet heard our new guests introduce themselves? Shall I dissemble what I feel?
No crying!
Oh no, I must say it. Never anywhere have I seen such great a likeness in man or woman, but it is truly strange. This boy must be the son of Odysseus, Telemachus, the child he left at home, that year the Achaean host made war on Troy, daring all for the wanton that I was.
Odysseus' hands and feet were like this boy's. His head and hair were glinting of his eyes. Not only that, but when I spoke just now of Odysseus, years of toil on my behalf, and all he had endured, the boy broke down and wept with his cloak.
Oh my lord, Mark from Menelaus, that is that hero's son, as you surmise. But he is gentle and would be ashamed to clamor for attention before your grace, whose words who have been so moving to us both. Nestor, lord of Generia, sent me with him as a guide and escort.
How I love that man, and how he fought for hardships in my sake. I could have cleaned out my whole entire towns to be his new domain, but God himself must have been envious in battle and bruised man, so that he alone shall fail in his return.
What did I say? I'm not crying.
I'm crying.
Is that something about I? Is that something about
Telemachus, why did you come?
Lord Marshal Menelaus, I came to hear what news you had of father. My house, my good estates are being ruined. Each day my mother's bullying suitors come to slaughter flocks of mine and my black cattle. Enemies crowd our home. This is why I come to you. Tell me of his death, sir, if perhaps you witnessed it, or have heard some wanderer tell the tale. The man was born for trouble. Spare me no part for kindness' sake. Be harsh, but put the scene before me as you saw it. If ever Odysseus, my noble father, served you promise, kept, or work accomplished in the land of Troy, recall those things to me the way you are.
Intolerable! That soft man should think to lie in the great captain's bed. Ha! Then the Lord returns to his own bed and deals out doom on these. If only Odysseus met the suitors, they'd have their consumption in cold bed. Now let me come to the point. I will tell you what the ancient of the sea said to me. Every word. During my first try at the passage homeward, the gods detained me, tied me down to Egypt, for I had been too scant in hecatombs. So ends the story. Now you must stay with me and be my guest 11 or 12 days more. I'll send you on your way with gifts, 3 chariot horses, a polished car, and a hammered cup, so that all your days, tipping the red wine, you'll remember me.
Lord, son of Atreus, know you must not keep me. Not that a year with you would be too long. I find your tales and all you have to say so marvelous. But time hangs heavy on my shipmates' hands at Holy Pylos. If you make me stay, as for your gift, let it be some keepsake. Horses I cannot take to Ithaca. Let me bestow them back to you.
Gather your ships, men! We must go kill Telemachus!
Sleepest thou, sorrowing Penelope? The god whose life is ease no longer suffer thee to pine and weep then. He returns unharmed, the little one, no way hath he offended.
Sister, hast thou come hither? Why, aforetime never wouldst come, so far away thy dwelling. And am I bid be done with all my grieving? But see what anguish hath my heart and soul. My lord, my lion heart, gone long ago, the bravest man and best of all the Danaans, famous through Hellas and the Argive midlands. And now my son, my dear one, gone seafaring, a child, untrained in hardship or in counsel. Aye, 'tis for him I weep, more than his father. Aye, how I tremble for him, lest some blow befall him at men's hands or on the sea. Cruel are they and my many who plot against him to take his life before he can return.
Hermes, you have much practice on our missions. Go make it known to the nymph that we order Odysseus home. Let him depart. But let him have no company, only a raft that he must lash together, and after 20 days, worn out at sea, he shall make land upon Shakira. His destiny is to see his friends again under his own roof and his father's country.
Oh Hermes, what brings you to my island? Your visit in the past were few. Now tell me what requests you have in mind. I desire to do it, but wait a while, let me serve my friend.
Goddess to God you greet me. Question me. Here is the truth for you in courtesy. Zeus made me come, and not my inclination. It is not to be thought of for any good god to elude the will of Zeus, and to send him back in haste. His life may not in exile go to waste. His destiny, his homecoming is at hand, when he shall see his dearest and walk on his own land.
Oh, you vile gods and jealousy supernal, you hate it when we choose to lie with men. Son of Laertes, after these you still desire your home.
Wander the high seas this way. Take your blows before you join that race the gods have natured. Nor will you grumble for want of trouble.
Rag of a man that I am, is this the end of me? I fear the god has told it all too well. I am going down, that's sure. How lucky those Danaans who were perished on Troy's wide seaboard. Serving the Atridae met my end that time. The Trojans made so many casts at me when I stood by Achilles after death.
O forlorn man, I wonder why Lord Poseidon holds his fearful grudge. He will not drown you despite his rage. You seem clear-headed still. Do what I tell you. Shed that cloak. Let the gale of your craft and swim for it, and you shall find a shelter. Here, make my veil your sash. It is not mortal. You cannot be drowned or suffer harm. My dear papa, could you not send the mule cart around for me? The gig with the pretty wheels? I must take all of our things and get them washed at the river pools. Our linen is all soiled, and you should wear fresh clothing. Going to the council with counselors and the first men of the realm. Remember your 5 sons at home. Though 2 are married, we have still 3 bachelor springs. They will have none but laundered clothes each time they go to the dancing.
No mules would I deny you, child, nor anything. Go along now. The grooms will bring you gig with pretty wheels and the cargo box.
Who is that man?
Mistress, please, are you divine or mortal? If one of those who dwell in the wide heaven, you are the most near to Artemis, I should say, great Zeus' daughter, in your grace and presence. If you are none of earth's inhabitants, how blessed your father, and your gentle mother, lest all your kin. But one man's destiny is more than blessed, he who prevails and takes you as his bride. Never have I laid eyes on equal beauty in man or women. I am hushed indeed. So now, my lady, 20 days yesterday, in the wine-dark sea, and on ever-lunging swell, under gale winds, getting away from the islands of Ogygia.
Does the sight of this man scare you? No, this man is a castaway. We must take care of him. Take him to the river, out of the wind, to bathe.
Away a little. Let me wash the grime from my own back, and rub plenty of oil. It is long since my anointing. I take no bath, however, where you can see me, naked, before young girls with pretty braids.
Back to town we go, and I shall send you in before my father. There, in our house with him, you'll meet the noblest of the Phaeacians. Here's how to do it. While we go through the countryside, stay with my maids. Go in there and sit down, giving us time to pass through the town and reach my father's house. And when you can imagine we're at home, then take the road to the city, asking directions for the place of Alcinous. You'll find it easily. Any small boy can take you there. Find my mother. She'll be there in the firelight before a column. On my mother's feelings, much depends. If she looks on you kindly, you shall see your friends under your own roof in your father's country.
Hear me, Athena, or listen to me now. May I find love and mercy among these people.